Karin.
Yes, Dad?
Do not call me that in front of my subordinates.
Okay, Father.
We have some new recruits to Elgato. Would you please show them the ropes?
These ropes?
No, not those ones. Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, it's just about time for all of you to play Sunbreak, and guess what? There is a lot to get to grips with this time around. And while you can be easily overstimulated by all the exciting new things and just go hunt, there are absolutely some things that you should be taking care of instead of just rushing through the story as quickly as possible. Of course, staying as spoiler-free as possible, here are some ways to get more rewards or even more enjoyment out of your initial time with Sunbreak that may take some time to work out on your own. As the days and weeks go by, we at RageGamingVideos are going to be doing our best to be one big hub of Sunbreak goodness, so make sure that you like and subscribe if you want to stick around and see some more. But today our focus is going to be 10 tips and tricks for your first journey with Sunbreak. Without further ado then, let's begin with number 1, Black Market Scrolls. Not too long into your journey in Sunbreak, you will get a pop-up about unlocking Black Market Scrolls as a mechanic. It won't tell you where you can use these or how to take advantage of them, at least not in the kind of detail that will actually tell you what they are. They are actually directly tied to the Argosy system, which you can now access from the main cat-based hub on the port of Elgato. Quite simply, on the trading screen, if you press the prompt on the side, a little scroll symbol will pop up next to the buddy you have selected, and you can do this for all 3 of your trading pals. Once activated, every time your buddy goes out to trade, on top of the resource that you have selected, they will come back with a number of secondary goodies from the black market. The one and only downside of this is that it will fill your Argosy box faster, so you'll have to come and clear it out more often. But you simply get a bunch more rewards for having this active. A bunch of secondary items that are nice to have, some of which are quite special though. Things like melding pudding, which are worth 200 points in the melding pot each, or things like MP accelerants, which will finish a meld instantly without the need to complete a quest to give you talismans. Or probably most importantly, an item that unlocks and is used to craft this sick pirate armor set.
It's a pirate's life, my lad!
Which totally doesn't look inspired by the Navy in One Piece. I mean, come on, look at that jacket comparison. Number 2, Buddy Recon. Again, a system unlocked very early on in your time with the expansion. It will be lightly explained in a little text box, but the reality is quite a bit more important than that. Through the system, you can choose one spot on each map out of 2 that most maps have available, and from there you can post one of your buddies up, so whenever you're on that map, you can fast travel to that one spot. The limitation of this is that it can only be done once per quest, and it costs 100 Chimera points to do so. But for the most part, the Buddy Recon spots are placed in places where you would otherwise quite struggle to get to if you need to mid-hunt, places far from a camp. A great example being the Shrine Ruins, gets one all the way up at the top of the mountain. Previously, if you were hunting something and decided to run off to Zone 5, it would take quite a bit of moving to catch up to it, but now you can just teleport to the Buddy Recon point and jump down. 5 seconds, no hassle. These are now on every map, and some of them you have to actually find yourself out in the field to unlock, but they are undoubtedly valuable time savers that will make your journey more comfortable. Number 3, Meowcenaries. This one is great because at the initial release of Monster Hunter Rise, no one did this system. Then everyone realized that this system was actually great and gave rewards. People got the rewards, and then they again ignored the system for months. Well, guess what? In Sunbreak, the Meowcenaries give even more rewards. Again, specifically what I mean from that is that each of the different maps that you can send Meowcenaries to will give you a material for an upgraded Master Rank version of the unique armor set that they gave you in base Rise. And of course, there are also new tracks for the mercenaries on each new map. I won't spoil these quite yet, but just know that they also have unique armor sets tied to them that are quite worth having too, aesthetically if for no other reason. Number 4, Follower Quests. Before the release of Sunbreak, this system was often referred to by the developers as the replacement for the Rampage, and the main reason for that is it is your way to interact with the various villagers and helper NPCs that you meet in the story, actually on a hunt. In Sunbreak, this new quest type is 100% single player, at least as far as actual humans go, but they give you an interesting experience of hunting with a full-on AI hunter who often have unique voice lines, and while many of the people that you hunt with are new NPCs that you meet in Elgato, you also get to unlock a number of hunts with old favorites from Chimera too, so this can bring up your nostalgia meter if you're missing them. More importantly though, while this is a cool system for those reasons, it's also a useful system for another. It unlocks equipment, specifically through the follower quests, you can unlock a handful of different armor sets related to the people who post up at Elgato, and even a weapon tree for each weapon category, for which some of them are really not too shabby at all. So don't brush these aside and just focus on progression, because they have their own special goodies for completing them as well. Number 5.
What's your thing? Bug.
Wirebug Whisperer. Alright, this is a fun one for me. I have always stood by this skill. I've always thought it was incredible. But with the new addition of a number of new silk vines for every single weapon, we all have a reason to use it. This skill has, in my opinion, shot up in the rankings to being one of the more important skills for any weapon to use in the game. Even if you didn't think your old silk vines were that great, you have new ones. And from my initial run through every weapon, they have something extremely worth using now, which means that having more wirebugs for a longer period of time is just incredibly useful for everyone. If you have the ability to get this skill in your build, I recommend it heavily. I always did, but now in Sunbreak more than even Rise, it is genuinely good for everyone out there. Number 6. Old maps changed. There are new entire types of endemic life added in Sunbreak, most specifically things like the yellow wire bug that gives you extra drops while fighting other monsters during a wyvern ride, or the red wire bug that gives you extra damage on a mounted punisher. Of course, it would be weird to add an entire new endemic life only to be part of the new maps while still giving you hunts to do on the old maps, so, well, the old maps have been changed a little bit too, given a few more things to pick up here and there, and some of that goes hand in hand with the buddy recon system that I mentioned earlier, where they'll stick an extra wire bug in a buddy recon spot just to give you a little boost or something tiny like that when you use the system. So even when you're on the maps you already know and love, keep an eye out for the little changes around you, the extra endemic life, the moved little endemic life, because those can absolutely make a difference in your experience as a whole. Number 7. Do requests.
Can I ask you one favor? What can I do for you?
I know, at this point, if you played through base Rise, you probably already understand the request system, but a lot of people sort of put these to the side and do them after doing everything else. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is at least one set of requests you absolutely want to do as quickly as possible, and these are anything related to the buddy system, to upgrading your Palico and Palamute, as you can unlock some pretty snazzy weaponry through this, including a full-on cat-sized Dragonator, or alternatively, a whole new self-healing over time mechanic. There is a lot to be done in Sunbreak, so having somewhat of an order of what you should do first to assist your other plans can be really nice to have. Number 8. Upgrade your weapon. Master rank weapons are a significant upgrade to your high rank ones. It won't be long before you see weapons with full-on purple sharpness, which is a big boost all in itself. But just as a general statement, the master rank weapons immediately shoot up in their attack number, which when multiplied using all of your skills in your build can see an immense increase in damage. Master rank monsters have way more health than high rank monsters, so make sure that you make this change as soon as you see the new weapons be better than your current one, because it can definitely be sooner than you might expect. Conversely, however, number 9, stick with your armor. Yes, master rank armor will almost immediately have more defense than whatever set you're currently wearing, but if you're in a proper high-end, high-rank armor set like Valstrax, for example, you still have more than enough defense to last you at least a third of the way through the story of Sunbreak, especially when you consider how much more damage you'll be doing than you would be if you just switched to random armor pieces along the way. Skills are as important as your weapon is when it comes to calculating your overall damage, and in a very intentional way, a lot of early game master rank armor just doesn't really come with offensive skills, at least not a good combination of them. That said, it depends on what you want your experience to be. If you want to be a killing machine, don't change your armor until it feels nearly forced. If you want the full, fresh Sunbreak experience, then change whatever you want whenever you want to, because after all, while efficiency is nice, it's also about the journey at the end of the day. Number 10. Take your time. I say this with pretty much every one of these lists that I make at this point. I've done them for many of the expansions and games that I've been a part of, but this is for very good reason. You only get to have your first experience with a Monster Hunter game once. Your first time seeing a new monster, a new armor set, a new map, new mechanics. Once you have them burned into your head, it just won't feel quite as special anymore. It will just become routine. So make sure that you don't rush through the story of the game. Enjoy the hunting as it comes. Do things that are key quests. Kill monsters that you don't have to. Experience the master rank moves of creatures that have changed, and really just make the most of it. After all, the sun will only break once, and once you fix that sun, the world will never be the same. So take advantage of how new even the base combat feels in Sunbreak, and use it to enjoy some hunts that otherwise would just feel like menial tasks once you've reached the end. Do those 1-star quests before you move on to being MR 50 or even higher, you know what I mean? And that is just about it, everyone. I'm so happy to finally finally be able to talk with you all about Sunbreak properly, and for the first time in months, as the person who stays completely spoiler-free until I play the game, I know more about the game than you do, and, well, you've got one hell of a journey ahead of you. I hope you're all as excited as I am, and I can't wait for you to get your hands on the game and hunt through it yourselves. Like if you like the video, subscribe for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.